Ever since I was first diagnosed, so literally for the past 16 months, I've been trying and failing up until this very moment to find the correct way to explain why I believe the things I believe and why I do the things I do. And the simplest way and best way to explain this is, are you familiar with the saying that some people say, which is, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? So basically that principle is, if you spend most of your time with fat people, odds are you'll be fat. If you spend most of your time with smokers, odds are eventually you'll also be a smoker. If you spend your time, with people who have bad eating habits, you'll probably have bad eating habits. But it also works in reverse. If you spend your time with people who spend a lot of their time and focus and energy on exercise and fitness, odds are you'll be in good shape, and so on and so forth. And that basic principle perfectly encapsulates and describes everything that I believe and everything that I do, or rather, why I believe what I believe and why I do what I do. And it's that exact principle. And that's the main reason. I didn't realize it until now, but that's the main reason why I've always shied away from people who have cancer. Because, yes, for now, I have cancer. But if I surround myself with other people who have cancer, then odds are I'm not going to get rid of my cancer, because most people eventually, or at least most people who have stage 4 cancer, let me specify that. Most people who have stage 4 cancer end up eventually dying from it. So odds are I would do the same thing, because I would become the average of the 5 people I spend the most time with. And if I surround myself with people who also have stage 4 cancer, then I'm decreasing my odds. Whereas if I surround myself with healthy people, well, then automatically, subconsciously, my body, my mind, my belief, everything about me is going to be like, oh, I need to fit in. I need to be more like these people. I need to be healthy again. And that's going to increase my odds that I'm going to heal and that I'm eventually going to get better. And it's that same principle that applies to everything. We like to think it only applies to people. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. If I surround myself with positive people, odds are I'll be more positive, which is great. But it also comes down to a lot of other things. What are the 5 thoughts that I think the most, in other words, that I surround myself with the most throughout the day? Well, those are going to be the 5 thoughts that are going to shape my beliefs. And that's going to have a huge impact on my life. And, I mean that quite literally, on my life, as in the difference between life and death, whether I survive or not. And that's why I'm very careful about the words that I use, the things that I say, the way that I say it, and why I choose to believe certain things that to some people don't make sense, or to some people would be considered, a lie. Such as, it's like, if I approach my life and I believe and I do everything as if I am cured, well, then my body, the world around me, is going to change to match that. So by doing that, by having those thoughts, those beliefs that I specifically choose and surround myself with, I'm increasing my odds of survival. And I do this in all the different areas, all the different arenas of my life. So it's like, yes, I surround myself with positive, uplifting, happy people. I, surround myself with positive, happy, uplifting thoughts that allow me to, increase my odds of survival. So some people would consider that a lie, and it is to some degree, but at the end of the day, it has been proven over and over and over again to work. So it's like, why would I surround myself with sick people who, no offense to anyone, are probably going to die simply because most people don't take the time to really explore themselves inside and out and understand how, the world works. And I'm not saying that I have the answers to everything, that I'm perfect. What I'm saying is every person's beliefs are true to them. So to them, that is how the world works. And if you don't really take the time to, really sit down and think and contemplate and process and, evolve as a result of that, well, odds are you're just going to allow yourself to die because you're not taking the time to surround yourself with people and things and thoughts and beliefs that will increase your odds of survival. You just kind of get told by the doctor you have stage 4 cancer, you have X amount of time to live, and then you'll die, and you just kind of accept it, and that becomes your world. You surround yourself with those thoughts and those beliefs and other people going through that, and that's why, to me, it doesn't make sense to excuse me, kind of gross. That's why, to me, it doesn't make sense to join, cancer group, even if it's a support group to help each other and support each other and everything. It's like, if you surround yourself with other people who are sick, you're just telling your body, this is normal, this is what you should be like, continue doing this. And that's why I've always felt, and I didn't realize it until now, like, that's why I've always felt I don't want to surround myself. I don't want to connect with other people who have cancer. And now that I understand why, now that I understand the logic behind that, I'm just like, okay, yeah, it makes perfect sense. And I was right to do that. And, that's why when I allowed certain people like that in my life, and don't get me wrong, they're all amazing people. Everyone is amazing. It's kind of like my mother. Having her in my life was not good for me. It had a negative impact on my life. As a result of that, the best thing for me was to sever that relationship. It's not to say my mother's a bad person. It's not to say I have anything against her. It's not like I hate her. Nothing like that. I have nothing bad to say about her. But it's just, I know that having her in my life is not helpful to me. And in my current situation, I simply cannot allow that. And it's the same thing with everything, whether it be people, whether it be thoughts, whether it be belief. It's literally like this principle of you become the average of the 5 people or things or beliefs or whatever it is you surround yourself with. Like that principle, I need to apply that to every single different arena in my life. And that is going to maximize my odds of survival. And, after literally 16 months of trying to express this and sensing this, now I can finally express it in a way that is clear, that is concise, that makes sense, and should hopefully allow people to understand. So hopefully now you have a better understanding of exactly why I do the things I do, why I believe the things I believe, why I say the things that I say. Even though sometimes it doesn't necessarily make sense, there is a logic behind it. That is why I do it. I'm very careful, very deliberate about why I do the things that I do. So I'm glad that I'm finally able to explain it. It just kind of sucks that it took 16 months to figure out a way to be able to explain this, because it's something that I felt and have tried to do to the best of my abilities for the last 16 months, yet I was never able to fully understand or fully explain it until now. So yeah, it definitely feels good. And I'm glad I was able to, record this video in nature, because nature, like, once again, talking about surrounding yourself with things that help you, like being in nature has always helped calm me, always make me feel happier, make me feel more connected with the universe, more relaxed, more at peace, more grateful, everything. So it's like, it seems fitting that I would record this video here, because me being here in nature is literally the perfect example of this principle at work. So yeah, I'm glad that I was able to do this here, and I'm just kind of sorry it had to take 16 months to be able to explain this. But hopefully now everything kind of makes sense. And, you know, I know certain people look at me and they're like, this guy's completely insane. He's delusional. And maybe now you all understand, even though certain things that I do and say and believe seem delusional, well, now that you understand why I do it, maybe it's going to make more sense. Not that I need, you know, everyone to understand and believe and, you know, think that I'm right, whatever. Like, that's not the point. It's just, it's nice to be able to explain it. So, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.